Hi everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber.
And we're
Witches Talking Tarot.
And today we're going to be diving into some shape-shifting myths. Did I say something wrong?
No, you said diving and kelpies and selkies. I thought you were being punny. I'm sorry.
So we're going to be diving into some shape-shifting myths. We're going to be talking about shape-shifting in pop culture. I want to say there's a surprising amount, but I don't think there is.
No, there's so much.
Well, there's so much that you don't even realize that's what it is because it's so normal in the pop culture.
It's totally normalized. That is a great way of putting it because I was like, there was so much shit that I didn't even think about, like we were saying earlier, like with Loki and stuff. Like
shape-shifting is normalized. Yeah. Is that crazy? Like the Princess and the Frog.
Yeah. Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. You just said Shrek. I love Shrek.
Oh yeah, I had no idea that was from like old stories. Okay, guys, Shrek isn't an original story, so there's a whole lot more Shrek headcanon out there for you to find.
Dude,
in old like medieval stories.
Shrek, the second one, when he takes the magic potion because he wants to be
the
beautiful.
Guy.
Yeah, like he low-key kind of cute. Dude, like no lie, my husband.
I do love Edwina in that one. Because Abfab Eddie, she plays the fairy godmother. No. Yeah, the one who sings I Need a Hero.
Yeah. That's the best version of that song.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's Eddie from Abfab.
Nice.
Yeah, love it. Love it. And that is the fairy godmother, right? Isn't she also the mother of the guy who's supposed to
the Prince Charming, who actually looks like he really looks like Jaime Lannister.
He does. He surely does.
He really does.
And he's such a douche. Also, I love the soundtrack for Shrek too because like she's a princess and all the princesses are like they're you've got Led Zeppelin.
I know Snow White.
Oh yeah,
my god,
I fucking love it, and that's the perfect song with the.
I know.
Who are they fighting? I can't remember.
It's like the witches or something like that.
Okay, it's the witch. Because I was like, I can picture them, but. Funny enough, all I can picture is actually an army of gingerbread men, but that's the wrong Shrek movie.
I do love that one, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of shape-shifting and Shrek, I saw a funny, it was a meme about Dungeons & Dragons, and it was like, you see like a really scary dragon or some shit, and he wants to attack you, and then you're like, well, or the wizard is like, can I shape-shift him? He's like, yeah, I mean, I guess you could, but you can't shapeshift him into a dragon. He's like, no, but I can a donkey.
That's funny. That's funny. And it's funny because, like, so with shapeshifting, there's this huge trope in, like, folklore and mythology and all this of, like, two different entities shape-shifting into things, like to battle, right? So in our Caradwyn episode, we cover it where Caradwyn is chasing Gwion Bok, and they're each changing, like, he changes into something and she changes into a predator of that thing. Like, and that's a huge trope in folklore that I was aware of because, like you said, it's so normalized in The Sword and the Stone.
The squirrel.
Mad Madam Mim and I can't remember his name now.
Oh my god. It's I know what you're talking about. I hear you.
Arthurian legend.
Yeah.
It's the wizard from Arthurian legend. And if I wasn't trying to think of his fucking name, I could tell you, but now all I can think of is Gandalf. Sure, let's do that.
It's also in The Emperor's New Groove when he's taking the potions. I love that.
Hell yeah. And apparently there's also this whole like folklore trope about like transformations where you like holding on to somebody as they go through all of their transformations, and if you could hold on to them the whole time, then something good happens to you, which totally made me think of the leprechaun stuff.
Oh, I feel like that was in Greek mythology. It's Merlin.
Merlin, thank you. I was never going to get that.
That was in Greek mythology, I think. I can't remember what it was called, but they held him down through all of his transformations.
Yeah, it was a specific story. I can't remember who either. And there's like a ton of transformation and shape-shifting in Greek mythology.
Oh, I mean, look at Zeus.
Right, exactly, and his lovers. Whether he changes them or Hera changes them, somebody's doing it.
Athena. Athena. I love that song. Athena and Arachnia. That is one of my that's actually one of my favorite stories.
Spider Girl. Sorry.
She's like weaving and she weaves so well. Sorry. I love that chant. Have you heard it?
I don't listen to
pagan music.
No.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's like Arachnia weaves and she weaves so well. Athena laughs as she casts her spell. Bryson loves that song. But anyway, Arachnia, she's weaving.
Gods be tripping. They be trifling, yo.
Athena gets jealous and turns her into the best weaver of all.
The spider.
The spider, which is where the term Arachnia comes from, right? Yep.
Well, yeah, I mean, I assume that because of Arachnia being her name, that's why spiders are called arachnids. Mm-hmm. I don't actually know the etymology because my high school canceled that fucking class.
Oh my god, we need to do an episode on spiders.
Yes, we do. I think closer to spiders, brooms, hats. Yes. Yeah, I was thinking we got Samhain stuff already bubbling.
I know, I'm excited.
Me too. I'm excited for the summer episodes with the dragons and stuff.
Oh, that'll be really fun.
Yeah. And all of the different folklore has so Slavic culture has a god that also shapeshifts. He's one of my favorites, Veles. He is the god of the underworld, and he's the god of magic and animals and something else. No, I didn't write that shit down. I just read it. But he shapeshifts into wolves, bears, owls, and snakes, and when he's fighting Perun, he shapeshifts into a dragon, which hopefully we will bring you that myth when we bring you our dragon and fire magics episode, because I feel like it goes really well.
Well, and another deity that shapeshifts that is more known, I would say, would be, when I say more known, I mean more known in pop culture, Loki.
I know, I totally forgot until I was doing this research that he had shapeshifted into a she-wolf to be Fenrir's mother.
I saw a meme. I'm the meme fan. Okay, sorry guys to keep talking about memes, but it was like a horse with a couple legs, and it was like loving on Loki, and it was like Happy Mother's Day.
It's one of my favorite Mother's Day posts.
I love it. I love it much.
Every single time I see it, it confuses me for like a half second.
Right, because it's the Loki from the Marvel universe. That's the Loki that they use.
I've just seen it as a drawing.
Yeah, it's a drawing.
Okay.
It's a drawing of the Loki depiction in the Marvel universe. But I love it. I love it. And if you haven't listened to our previous episode about Thor being in a dress, Loki kind of gave Thor the short end of the stick with that shape-shifting thing, because I think he
was able to be a woman, and Thor had to be Thor in a dress.
I know. He's
but it gave us our episode titles.
Right. Actually, there's a lot of really fun lores with Thor we need to cover.
Yeah,
like him
absolutely.
wrestling an old woman.
And Norse is next anyway. So we gotta go Norse. Because Carid went... No, Greek was our last. So we're definitely due for a Norse because we did. So
maybe we'll do the one where he wrestles an old woman.
Yeah, that was what we had talked about. So we need to definitely do that one because I would love to learn more about Norse mythology. So these episodes are really great for me from that standpoint. But also all of these episodes that we do, they bring in so much different stuff that I'm either I forgot about, like you mentioned with Loki being a shapeshifter. I totally didn't think about it. Didn't think about Veles being a shapeshifter. Or because I already mentioned Gwion Bok because of the whole chasing scene. But it's when you don't think of something a certain way until it's put to your lens in that light, you're just not going to see it that way. You know what I mean?
There's this, no, I totally hear you. And we're talking about the being chased and switching and
oh, are you going to, the Offlebach or whatever? Offlebach?
No, it's, no, but I definitely will. This one is actually Freyja. That's not Freya. That's, Freya, right?
Freya, yeah.
Okay. Well, she gets a necklace and she agrees to spend a one-night stand with 7 dwarves. With all of them, and then her husband finds out and he gets really upset and runs away.
Okay.
He
Different
runs away,
story.
and she chases after him because she can never reach him. He's always within, just out of reach. So I'm pretty sure I read that he turns into a whale, and she turns into a little fish, and she can't reach him because like
He's so hurt.
it was such a beautiful necklace. She had to have like an orgy with the dwarves. I mean, you gotta understand. Like,
Oh.
you don't get it. It was dwarven gold.
No, like I'm sitting here going like, this is a really, really, really weird origin for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
I know, right?
All right, but also it
makes sense.
It does make sense, and also it brings up the fact that some people or some entities don't shapeshift just on their own, right? They have like a talisman or something that allows them to shapeshift, like the goddess Freya. And there's a lot of different stories of, wait, it didn't allow her to shapeshift.
No, it was just beautiful. They could just shapeshift on their own, yeah.
Well, it made me think about the fact that sometimes there's talismans involved in the shapeshifting or potions. Like with Gwion Bach, he drank Caradwyn's potion out of the cauldron of knowledge. And that's how he started becoming a shapeshifter. But also, the gods be fucking trifling, yo. And sometimes they change people or things, like with Arachne. Sometimes they change them into, like, trees. Like,
wait, who was the one that got, Psyche?
Psyche. What did she get changed into?
No, did she get changed into? I swear we did a thing where she was changed into something for punishment. Was there a chicken? Am I crazy, you guys? Have you listened to our videos?
I don't remember her being changed for punishment. I am trying to think.
Someone did. I just don't remember who it was.
Like, and there's a lot. I mean, Medusa was changed for punishment. Or protection, depending on which version you know of the myth. There are multiple versions of almost every single myth out there because every writer wants to put their own spin on it and get their book out there. You know what I mean?
I like to think... I'm sorry, guys. Let me just apologize to the gods again. I'm so sorry. But I also kind of like to think that, like, Athena and Poseidon are, like, exes. And that's why they hate each other.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
So fucking much.
Well, I mean, I can see that,
mean?
like, the ocean and society, they kind of, like, especially, like, when you think about, like, commerce or exploration of the world, like, they have to go hand in hand.
Oh, I think so. Poseidon cheated on her or something, and now she fucking hates him. Or, like, that was a bad breakup. That was, like...
like, I can see it because, I mean, as it is... So Athena herself is part of a shape-shifting myth. Athena's mother, Metis, was one of the Titans. She was an Oceanid, and her name was Metis. And she could change shape into anything she wanted. And Zeus, who is a fucking dirtbag, as we know...
Sorry again.
No, I'm not. She is. I'm not. I said it.
Thank you.
Zeus tricks his first wife because he has this like prophecy and he kind of takes on his daddy. He channeled Kronos for a minute and he's all like, oh, my son is going to be more powerful than me if I have a son with her. So that can't happen. So he's like, hey, babe, I bet you can't turn yourself into a fly.
No, I feel like you know would be really kinky right now.
Oh my God.
I've got an idea.
Yes, he probably did that one. She changes into a fly and he swallows her. But she's already pregnant with their daughter Athena. So she goes up to his fucking head and she starts making Athena armor. And she finishes having Athena and Athena grows up in Zeus's head. But it gives him such a headache that he's got to have his head split open, right? Mm-hmm. And then out springs Athena, which she proceeds to... Or, I'm sorry, you said the headache... Maddie posed that the headache is from Athena stabbing him from the inside because he was such a jackass. Mm-hmm. She didn't say that, my words. She just said the
like,
stabbing
I gotta
part.
get out of here some time.
Yeah. But, you know. But as we've discussed before, like, I can't have respect for Zeus. Granted, it is that human side of him that's coming out. But again, like we've also discussed, the Greeks are like the frat boys of...
Well, and I like to compare the Greeks to, like... actual people in the sense that, like, let's look at Game of Thrones. I know they're not actual people, but what the fuck did King Robert do? He had so many whores and he cheated on his wife. Yeah. He was the king. That's what the king does. Yeah. The wife hates it. obviously, what is she gonna do? He's the king. He can do whatever he wants. There's Hera,
and that's what we love about the gods we love or don't love. Is
they mirror
their human
society.
qualities. Exactly.
Yes.
They are aspects of energy, and they give face to it, and they give personality to it, and character traits to it. But I'm not going to pretend I have respect for Zeus. Like, I have respect for Odin. I have respect for Vel. I even have respect for Perun, even though I'm not, like, a Perun fan. It's just not, like, I don't know. I'm not a thunder god person. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not. Odin's the Allfather. Thor is the thunder god. I'm not as interested in Thor as I am Odin. You know what I mean? Like, and so, like, Perun, I'm not as interested in him, but I give him respect. I even, like, Thor doesn't seem like too much of a shitbag. I give him respect. Zeus, maybe it's I know too much. I don't know, but, like, it's hard to have respect for a character, and that's the thing about Zeus is I don't think that you were necessarily supposed to respect him. Maybe you're supposed to follow him and honor him, but I think you're allowed to understand that the choices he made were not always good. I think you're absolutely allowed to understand that, you know. And I'm sorry to make you uncomfortable. Like,
no. Like, that's okay. I do.
Zeus is like one of the few deities that I'm just like.
He just, to me, he embodies what a medieval king. That is how the kings behaved. It is not good at all. It's not. But it makes sense as to why the king of the gods would be that. I mean, he's the king of the gods. And then you look at Hera's role, similar to Circe's. Yeah. In more ways than one.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there's other ways to do it. Because, like, Odin, he's the Allfather. He is the king of the Norse pantheon. And he gave up his sight. For knowledge to help society. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, it's all these different aspects of individuals. And, you know, it's just, Zeus is one that I don't have to like his choices. And I think that's exactly the point of being pagan.
Oh, yeah.
I do. Because he tricked his wife so that he could eat her and not in the pleasant way.
Oh, you're right. He was married to her for a little bit. Yeah,
she was his first wife before Hera, which I didn't even know he had a first wife before Hera. Was he and Hera on the side? Like, should Hera have known all along? Did she start out as a side chick? Oh my God, we have to research that. Should we do, like, we have to research if that's a myth.
I'm very curious. I didn't realize until now that he had.
I didn't either until I was like, Athena has a mother. What? And granted, I go again because I just a couple minutes ago mentioned that, like, there's all these different versions of all the different myths because of, you know, each writer wants to put their own spin on it, whatever. Did somebody give Athena a mother because, like, it worked?
Maybe. I don't know. All I remember is that she was in his head. So.
Yeah, I knew she was born out of his head, but I knew nothing about.
What if she was never mind. I was going to say, I was going to say, what if she had a father and, like, it got in his head a different way? You know what I mean? But, like...
Ear sex.
Oh, I was so gross.
I know what you're going. I was making a Family Guy joke, if you remember the Meg Griffin ear sex episode.
Oh, my gosh.
They're doing it in the ear, and Lois is like, it's just the bee's knees. But speaking of bees, we'll move on. They don't... Yeah, maybe they have knees. I don't know, but when they shapeshift... Do they have knees?
So one of the ones that we read about, I'm sorry guys,
it's late. It's late.
So one of the ones that we read about that I thought was so funny was the silky. I love that one. So it's basically like a person. It's literally a seal. Like
I was making seal noises, guys. If you watch the YouTube, I was doing the arm thing too, for the record.
It's a seal that can turn into a person, and like they wear.
They take their
skin off. They lay it aside.
Let it dry out, air out a bit.
Right. And like
get the fish smell out.
Well, and there are like quote unquote stories of people marrying the Silkies as long as they steal their skin, because if they can't put their skin back on, they can't turn back into a seal.
Right.
And I am fully convinced that this myth was created because someone had sex with a seal and they had to like convince another person. No, they were a person. Like, I don't know what happened. What's this?
As funny as that is, as you were saying it this time, I'm sitting there thinking about the part where they talk about how the Selkie wife would sit there and stare longingly at the sea, and like the second that she'd find her skin, she'd vamp. And I'm like, is this shitbag husbands explaining why their wife left? No, she was a seal.
I know, oh my God. It was a man doing something weird.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. He was either fucking a seal, or he pretended he was fucking a seal to make him feel better about it.
Right, exactly. She must have been. She's over here like, will you take out the trash? Will you take out the trash? Will you take out the motherfucking trash? And he's like, yeah, I'll get to it. And then she finally leaves, and he's like, oh, she was a seal. That's what it was the whole fucking time. Like,
that is like that. I love the explaining, like, oh no, like she was a person when I was fucking her, like the seal skin was over there. I
don't know what happened.
Right, like that was funny.
I feel like in the middle of it, and it's like, Tom, what are you doing? What?
What?
Yeah, like
she was a lady a minute ago, tits and everything. I swear. And the seal just laying there like.
Oh my God, dude. I really feel like that's what happened. Like, somebody literally just played stupid.
It is equally funny for him to be like, oh, that bitch was a seal. She just left for the ocean. I did nothing wrong.
They're like, oh my God, what happened to your wife? She was a Silkie, I guess. Like,
I don't know, man.
She.
Like, and.
They're like, oh, that's Tom. His wife was a Silkie. So, like, let's be like... How you doing? How you doing, Tom?
So I feel like I read that like sometimes they wrote about like Selkies that were men that seduced women.
I feel like I read that too, but it was more
there was like
common they
a
were
family, or there was a famous story of a woman that we'll call Ursula. Like that's what the article said. We'll call Ursula for her own protection or whatever.
Oh God,
and
this
like
is new?
No, this was like an old story because like it's like old, like from 1900s, like early 1900s, and like her kids had like webbed feet or some shit, and she said that she had called a Selkie to her, and like that's why her kids had like webbed feet and shit, and like a recent descendant of the family says that some kids are still born with webbed feet.
I imagine so, but that's also just a birth defect.
Right, I know.
mean?
Like,
that's just like a.
Was she drinking a lot?
Was she drinking a lot? What did she marry her brother? Like,
right,
I mean,
like exactly.
Honestly,
like,
and I don't mean that in a disrespectful
I just like also it makes
way.
sense as to why she would make up that she called a Selkie to her if it was a family member that fathered her children.
Exactly,
because that's taboo. But like a Selkie must be less taboo because people have
a seal is less taboo than your twin brother. You know what I mean?
At least Jamie Lannister.
They're not even Targaryens. That's fucked up. But the other one that was really cool was the Kelpie.
I like the Kelpie,
but in a
it's
not
like more
funny
nefarious.
way. Yeah, it's not a funny way. It's more of
they're
a
gonna
really
eat you or something.
Right. Oh, was it the Kelpie then, or which one am I thinking about? The one that was really like majestic.
Well, that is the Kelpie.
The horse.
Nefarious. Yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah,
if a Kelpie comes up on you, like they're gonna eat you or drag you into the water to eat you.
Oh yeah, that really sucks.
But they are glorious and gorgeous, and they,
that's how they lure people in the first place.
Like they're majestic black horses in the water, but like gigantic, and then they come up and they're like beautiful women with hooves. Or beautiful men, depending on your tastes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the Rusalka and the Mavka from Slavic folklore. Mm-hmm. So they're like deadly women. I love that show, guys.
I do too.
It was not on purpose, but that's why I did the ha-ha laugh. Anyway, so they're like deadly women, right? But like it says, some lore states that they can change their appearance based on what the man's taste in women is. Ooh, so they're like beautiful women, but they might look, he might like this kind, so like she's going to transform a little bit.
I wonder, could they look like a specific person? I
wonder, like, I don't know if they can look like a specific person, but I do feel like I wrote down something that could look like the puka maybe could look like a specific person or animal. to mess with people. Something I read about could change into like a specific person, but I don't see that I wrote it down. So either it was the puka, or maybe I'm thinking of the wolf eatress, which is from Macedonian folklore, or something. It's the You Won't Be Alone movie that I talked about, where she stuffs like it's a witch, right? So in a lot of folklore, like shapeshifters are always like witches. In Celtic folklore, they're always witches, wizards, or fairies. Yeah. And so like in this Slavic folklore, like this wolf eatress, she's called the wolf eatress because like in the beginning of the movie, you see her like eating a wolf. Like she's this like gnarly old lady. I have not
seen that movie. It sounds so grotesque.
It is. It is beautiful. It is grotesque. It is beautiful. Grotesque. Beautiful. It is beautiful. I was going to watch it today, actually, before I came to get you, and it's no longer free on Peacock, so fuck you, Peacock! Damn, I was so disappointed. I don't want to pay $4 for it. I might buy the DVD, but fuck you guys. You know what? Speaking of fucking guys, you want to show off your new mug?
Oh, yeah, I got this mug, guys. It's really cute.
She designed that mug.
No, I didn't. No,
oh, you did?
I did not. I bought this.
Oh,
okay. I did not design this.
So sorry.
I did not.
I apologize, guys. I thought you created that.
Oh no, I didn't. That's why I was wondering why you kept wanting me to bring it, because I'm like, I can bring it, I guess, if you want to talk about it.
I thought it was in your shop.
No, I bought it from a different lady. If I would have gotten a bigger one, like if I had designed it like yours.
I got this one. I got the smaller because, like, on the bigger version, it has a little bit of white on each side, and I thought with this one, it would look real pretty this way, and Corey agreed. So I got this one smaller, and then the other one that's like the same as the one you have. I got it that same size, and then I got a third one, which I can't remember, and it hasn't shown up yet. So I'm gonna have to email them bitches and be like, "Where's my mug?" Because I got this one yesterday.
Right. But yeah, I got a new mug.
Yeah. So yeah, it's super cute, and Amber's super blonde because I totally.
Do you like it though? Do you honestly think it's funny?
I totally thought you like were. Yeah.
No.
I was like, man, that is awesome. It is still awesome. I like it. I think it's funny as shit.
It is funny. There was a bunch of like merch for erotic authors. There were so many, and I loved them. They were great.
Oh, listeners, if you want to know what the mug says, I guess you got to look at the YouTube.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know. I want to say it, but I'm like low-key embarrassed.
Oh. Well,
you can say it if you want it.
Oh.
I mean,
doesn't matter to me. I'm trying to up the YouTube at the moment.
Sure, go ahead.
If you want to know, you got to watch the YouTube. And yeah.
There's like a lot of funny like merch for erotic authors on Etsy. I actually found a really funny one. It was a sticker, and it had an alien on it, and it was like, when the aliens don't have big dicks, like in your book or something, like when you like America gets, or like the world gets invaded and they don't have like.
I was expecting probes, but it makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, how they, like and you're like kind of disappointed. You know what I mean?
Is not everyone always disappointed about a little dick?
No, like.
Sorry, guys. I don't mean to offend you. I just know what I like.
Somebody's gonna comment and say it's not the size of the boat. It's the weight.
That's fine. My ocean likes yachts, I guess. not like Freightliners or nothing. Like, I'm not TikToking this shit.
Bad Dragon, do not sponsor us.
No, I mean, right. I just want a yacht. I just want a yacht. It's fine. So what is your favorite? Okay, so there's people that are like born magical that can shapeshift. Mm-hmm. People that turn into witches or what have you, like, that can shapeshift. People that are shapeshifted by others for their protection, for their punishment, or magical talisman or potion. What's your favorite? My favorite trope you didn't mention, but I'm going to say I am a sucker for a good curse. Okay, I love some like Shrek, Beauty and the Beast. I guess you're right. Yeah. With Beauty and the Beast, it was because he was really mean to the fucking
old lady. She was like, I don't have any money, but I'll give you this rose. And he was like, no money. And she was like, psych! You know what I mean?
You are cursed, which it can always be Odin at your door.
Yep, exactly.
Be kind to strangers, folks.
And the Shrek, that lady was just a bitch. Like, I don't know why she cursed Fiona.
Oh, right?
I don't remember, but...
Oh, no, the parents pissed her off somehow. Or the dad made a deal.
The dad made
like a deal with Rumpelstiltskin or somebody, right?
Yeah, or the dad made a deal with the godmother. I don't know, but...
I feel like the dad made a deal with Rumpelstiltskin. Didn't they pull Rumpelstiltskin in somehow?
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
It was some little man, and I just...
Fuck that guy, dude. He was so funny, though.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I love the, like, curse. We just talked about it. It was, like, by day one thing, by night another.
Right. By day one form, by night another, something.
I know,
true
I just
love.
had
Yeah, you just had it.
Because I do love that
like, I love-hate learning that Shrek is, like, an actual, like, old-ass fairy tale, not just, like, this new invented story. Like, I love how old it is, and I'm kind of disappointed that Shrek wasn't as original as I thought.
By night one way, by day another, this shall be the norm until you find true love's first kiss, and then take love's true form.
And it's like, that is such a big trope, apparently. Like, there's like the whole, like, and they actually said that, one thing I read said that, that trope in fairy tales where it's like either the bride or the groom of, like, essentially an arranged marriage, one of them is monstrous, right? And it takes the other person loving them and marrying them to break the curse, right? So they can be not monstrous, right?
I love that.
And it actually, like, apparently it came about because of arranged marriages, like, for real.
To make,
like,
basically of a shitty person.
Well, like, okay, so if you grew up as a little girl with all these stories about, like, oh, she falls in love with the beast, and then he's, like, a wonderful prince. So then when you get matched with somebody that you're like, I don't want to marry them, mom and dad are like, well, our kingdoms are uniting, so fuck, you're doing it. It's a lot easier to think, like, oh, once I fall in love with him for who he is, like, everything will be okay. And then that's, like, exactly kind of how it went. Like, arranged marriages apparently do really well, guys.
I'm
gonna blame the fairy tales for it.
I'm gonna say, shout out to everyone that thought the beast was 10 times hotter than the prince, because when he turned back into a human, it was like,
what happened?
Change him back. I like to think it's a personality thing, because we spend the whole movie learning the beast and loving the beast, and then
seeing him soften, and Pedro Perezing us. And,
and then you see this human and you're like, ew, who the fuck are you? But, like, I don't know. He's kind of attractive. And wow. Oh,
I know.
We said it wrong.
I know, but we haven't said it for so long.
Wow.
We can start over and you can do it. I was just like,
Zam.
Wow. We've only done it once in season 2 until now. So I was like,
and I
think the
think
beast deserves a Zamwow.
I've never seen The Princess and the Frog because some of the context freaks me out. It just does. But I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. The prince was cursed. She kisses him. She becomes a frog.
And actually, the original fairy tale is it was a princess.
Who was the frog?
Who was the frog. The prince had to marry... Yeah, it's an old Russian fairy tale I found out during this research. Wow. It's called the Vorochkina or some bullshit. I don't fucking know. I wrote down prince and then S because I grew up with the prince or the frog prince, and this is the frog princess. But it's the same thing. Like the prince has to marry the frog, and then like once he kisses her, she turns into a beautiful princess.
I feel like I like the princess and the frog, like the story. Again, I've never seen the movie.
I like a man having to finally compromise.
Oh, you do?
Oh, I absolutely do. Yeah, he has to compromise. And
it makes more sense that a man would kiss a frog, just like the silky situation.
Yeah, true.
What if it is a silky situation? He's like kissing the frog, and they're like, Tim, what are you doing? Not again.
And he's like, I thought this one would turn into a girl.
I don't know. He's like,
the last one time.
Yeah, I know, right? The last one did, and then like they're just like, we can't take you in either. You know what I mean? Like, bro.
Oh my god, oh my god. I've never thought about the Frog Prince that way. I love it. Low-key loving it.
I do. I love Beauty and the Beast. That's my favorite transformation tale. And then, of course, we have...
I do love watching somebody that's running as a person transform into a wolf.
I do like that. I do like that.
Take off as a bird, oh my God, Jareth in the labyrinth. Not your thing, but my thing. I can't believe I forgot about him. He turns into a motherfucking owl. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
You know what? Guys. I tried to watch The Labyrinth, and the teenage girl is a fucking bitch. I got 10 minutes into it, and I'm like, bro, he's a fucking toddler. But then again, I'm a mom of a toddler, and if I found out my babysitter was being that way, I'd be like, first of all, you're fired. I understand he's your brother, so you're grounded. I cannot.
They already tried grounding her, and she went out to the park. Remember?
What a psycho! She's like, he won't stop crying, bitch. I was so triggered, so I didn't want. Oh God, gotta stop talking.
Well, you can't. I mean.
I tried to watch it, and then as she's saying that shit, and then all of a sudden the goblins or whatever the fuck are waking up.
Well, and what's funny is the goblins take way better care of that kid than his parents or his sister ever did. I'm just saying, they actually cared about that kid. They're all playing with him, and they're like, dance, magic, dance, magic, dance. I don't know how long I can go before YouTube shuts it off, so it's just gonna keep playing in my head because I love David Bowie and that song. I'm gonna stop dancing now because I'm on YouTube. Anywho. What is your favorite shape-shifting stuff, guys? I know we didn't mention vampires or werewolves, so boom, there they are.
We already have episodes on those individually, so if you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out. They're from season 1, I believe.
Vampires is season 1, werewolves is the beginning of this season. Awesome. And I'm not sure if we mentioned in the vampire episode, so bats, crows, wolves, black dogs, whatever else vampires can turn into.
Oh my God,
covered.
I love
Boom,
vampires.
got you.
I love
vampires. Oh yeah,
I have an amazing.
We will probably
dream.
Revisit so we can get in some more shit because they are constantly finding new old vampire graves and shit.
Love vamps.
Vampires are sexy.
Love me some vamps. They really are.
Speaking of things we love, hi Melissa, thank you for being our patron. If you want to be our patron, you can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/witchestalkingtarot.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Come on, guys, we are so close to 100 followers.
And tell us what you think about shapeshifters and shit. Do you think that we left something out? If so, tell us in the comments. But be kind, please rewind, don't be a dick. Maybe we covered it in previous episode. If you haven't listened to them all, don't be rude. Well, I'm just kidding, guys.
Thanks for sitting with us for a spell.
Bye.